I wonder if I made a choice after all.
Here are 6 things that you didn't know about the Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen relationship. Now, before I get started with the video, I just want to say really quickly, I have a really busy couple of weeks ahead. I have practice exams for school. It is my final year of school, so I'm kind of heading into a really busy stage. So if my videos aren't, very quality based and they're not as good as they sometimes are, I really do apologize, but only for the next couple of weeks, I promise. And I actually am working on a short film for school. If you guys want to watch a little preview, I'll put it on the screen right now. And yeah, that's just my brother working out. It's nothing really crazy. He isn't doing anything amazing in this film, but it's pretty cool just making a short film. So if you guys want to see short films in the future, not on this channel, but on a second channel or something like that, let me know down below. But anyway, let's just get straight into the video. Here are 6 things that you didn't know about the Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen relationship. Number 1. Jordan made life hard for Pippen, just like his other teammates, when he first entered the league. Now, although it isn't all that surprising since we know how hard Jordan made his teammates work to be the best versions of themselves, when Pippen was drafted in 1987, he was knowingly about to walk into training with the best and most determined player in the world at that point. Well, you could say of all time as well. Who, to be fair, was openly hostile to anyone, and that was Michael Jordan. He was tough on Scottie when he first joined the league. He went beyond the usual rookie hazing. Jordan would trash talk Pippen in practice, humiliate him. He did this not because he thought Pippen didn't deserve to be on the team, because he did. He did it because he could see the potential in him and realized that this could be the man who can help him win what he needed to win, that elusive NBA championship, because before Pippen, Jordan hadn't won an NBA championship. And eventually, Pippen did earn Jordan's respect, and to his credit, he endured everything that MJ threw at him. He ended up winning 6 NBA championships that MJ won, and no, it wasn't because of the fact that it was MJ who won that, it was the fact that MJ and Pippen, together, one of the greatest duos ever.
Michael, you're named MVP, but as you accepted the trophy, you said to Scottie that he was your MVP.
Scottie Pippen we're a tandem. It's hard to split us up. He means a lot to me when I go out and play on the basketball court. He relieves a lot of the pressure that I have to deal with. I try to do the same for him. It's hard to take this MVP by myself. He's got to take half of it. I take the trophy, he may get the call.
6 NBA championships, and obviously in his rookie year he helped Jordan win his first NBA playoff series in 1988 against the Cleveland Cavaliers, with Cavaliers forward Larry Nance saying that Pippen looked more like a 3 or 4 year veteran. And so when people ask why Jordan pushes his teammates so hard, it's not really Jordan just being brutal and savage, it's the fact that he really wanted to win and knew that if he pushed them, he would get the best out of them, and that's what he did. Number 2. Michael was the one that stopped the Bulls from trading Pippen for Tracy McGrady. As we all know, Tracy McGrady was one of the top prospects of the 1997 NBA draft. Shout out to T-Mac entering the Hall of Fame, totally deserves it, salute to the man. But yeah, T-Mac was one of the top prospects of the 1997 NBA draft, even out of high school. Perhaps eyeing him as MJ's hair in Chicago, Bulls GM Jerry Krause tried to arrange a trade with Toronto for Scottie Pippen, even though they just come off an NBA championship. Krause even went as far as having a meeting to discuss terms of the move. However, MJ made the call to Krause and put an end to that deal immediately, keeping Pippen in Chicago. In fact, rather than me telling you the story, I'll let Tracy McGrady explain it because I'm sure he can do it a little bit better than me.
We do have to talk about the trade that didn't happen. Tracy, can you tell us a story that might involve the cable?
Oh man, this was crazy. So I was right before the draft. My team gets the call and goes to Chicago, and they wanted to bring me in for a private workout. And the talk was that it was going to be a trade for you and myself at that time. Like it was the craziest thing, and I'm 18 years old. Like I don't know anything about this business, but Scottie Pippen name came up with this talk. I don't know if you know anything about that at the time, but I'm sure MJ, made that call.
I was going to say,
and got by
it's
elbow.
real because they brought you in for a workout.
brought me in for a
and
workout,
there's been
right.
reporting done on this, and there were some interest in this. But also that Michael Jordan basically stepped in, supposedly, and said that that's definitely not happening. No offense to you, Tracy,
Hey.
but
I thought you said the last time I was on the show that Jerry Krause said Michael Jordan never got involved.
that is what Jerry Krause said, but that is not what I've been told about this particular story. and if you, I guess it comes down to who you would believe more, Michael Jordan.
Well, did you hear about this, though? That's my question. Did you hear about this?
No, I never heard about it. But I knew Jerry Krause was trying to trade me every year. So I heard a few rumors, but I can't say it was.
Yeah. 18-year-old kid out of high school, man.
You could definitely argue that Jordan and the Bulls may have not won their 6th NBA title that year without Scottie Pippen, but with Tracy McGrady leading the team during the post-Jordan Pippen era, would they have been much brighter in Chicago? In saying that, T-Mac did have injuries, and at the time he was only 18 years old, and it took him a while to develop into a future NBA star. As for the Raptors though, well, we would have seen a veteran Pippen play with a sidekick to Vince Carter. That would have been nasty in Toronto, so who knows? Number 3. Jordan conned Scottie Pippen out of money. Now, if you're an NBA fan and you know Michael Jordan, or if you just don't, let me break the news to you. Jordan was an avid gambler. His passion for gambling is something else. Maybe you can argue that was his competitive nature, that was his way, that's what he said. But despite being amongst one of the richest athletes alive, Jordan is also known for being quite a heavy gambler and actually losing a lot of money. He'll just spend big money after big money for the thrill of it. I mean, fair play. When you've got millions of dollars rolling in every minute, then let the man do what he wants. Except, don't take your teammates' money. Jordan tried to con others out of money whenever he could get an advantage in the wages. Scottie Pippen was the target of Jordan one season when the Chicago Bulls would have animated Bulls races on the Jumbotron. Jordan would watch the videos before games and trick Scottie Pippen into betting against him. Of course, Jordan already knew who was winning and Pippen had no clue. This is just one of the many stories that show Jordan's cutthroat mentality for winning, even when it came to silly things like this. Number 4. Pippen was one of the few people allowed to work out in Jordan's home. So, despite what I've said before, and despite what people believe of the relationship between the two players, obviously it's still really close, because some people say that they don't have the best relationship, whilst others say that they have a great working relationship. Honestly, let's be honest, no one really knows apart from the two players themselves, but I will say, Jordan didn't let everyone just come in and work out with him in his mansion. Jordan was insanely private, who didn't even open up his home to his teammates. But Pippen was one of the few who saw the inside of Jordan's home, often going there to train and work out. So maybe they weren't friends, but they had a great working relationship and Jordan invited him because Pippen was the second best player in Chicago. But in my opinion, I think they were friends. I think they also had a great working relationship, and that's that. In an interview with the Chicago Tribune after Jordan returned to Chicago out of retirement, Jordan told the reporter, "I like having Scottie with me at my house. We work together, we talk. He tells me all kinds of things, a lot of personal things. Scottie's a very thoughtful guy if he trusts you, and we really trust each other." Now, for those that don't understand, like I said before, this isn't a common thing with Jordan. He was insanely private, at least as private as he could be, being the most popular player on the earth. Number 5. Pippen was not Jordan's favourite teammate. Now, some of you may know this, but obviously Michael Jordan did not share a bond or form friendships with the majority of his teammates. It was seriously just all business on the court with MJ, wanting to win pretty much more than anything in the world. Well, apart from maybe gambling. Everything else was secondary, including having fun with his teammates off the court. But one of the very few NBA players to become a genuine friend of Jordan was Charles Oakley. The toughness and gritty play of Oakley was something that MJ loved. Oakley was also known as an enforcer that definitely protected Jordan on a number of occasions when play got chippy. Jordan and Oakley still remain friends to this very day, proving their bond was beyond the game of basketball. In prior interviews, Jordan has gone as far to name Oakley as his favourite teammate to play with. And that is saying something, considering that although Oakley was a decent NBA player, he wasn't incredible, he wasn't a star, but he played his role, he did his job, and that's all that MJ needed. Number 6. Pippen believes Jordan may not be the greatest of all time. Now, this is insane, because when you think about it, They've won 6 NBA championships together. Jordan has been called the greatest player of all time in recent NBA history, but arguments over who's the greatest player of all time can cause people to go crazy, especially on the internet. Let me say that firsthand. But in 2011, in an interview for ESPN's Mike and Mike in the Morning show, Pippen was caught saying, "I may go as far to say LeBron James might be the greatest basketball player to ever play the game."
Michael Jordan is probably the greatest scorer to ever play in the game. But I may go as far as to say LeBron James may be the greatest player to ever play the game because he's so potent offensively that not only can he score at will, but he keeps everybody involved. And you have to be on your P's and Q's on defense because no guy on the basketball court is not a threat to score when LeBron James is out there.
This is Skip while he's listening to the interview, and there it goes. It absolutely happened, and this time it was for real.
What did he say?
I may go as far as to say LeBron James may be the greatest player to ever play the game.
That is blasphemous!
Now this is the best teammate Jordan ever had. This is the man you trained with, the man you played with, the man that you won championships, and he just called LeBron James the greatest player to ever play? Well, as you can imagine, Jordan wasn't too happy. And Bulls fans were also shocked when they heard what Pippen said. Now, I want to say, because I know that I'll get tons and tons of people in the comment section saying that's not what he was meant to say, but he has always said that by the end of LeBron's career, he could be better than MJ, and I'll prove that by, well, showing you his clip.
A lot of people tweeting last year after your Mike and Mike appearance when you talked about LeBron versus Michael. What are your thoughts a year later? Do you still think that LeBron is the greatest and Michael was the best scorer? Did that, and you took a lot of flack for that.
Yeah. I never said that LeBron was the greatest. I said by the end of his career, his numbers will be better.
I may go as far as to say LeBron James may be the greatest player to ever play the game.
I never said that LeBron was the greatest.
Now, ever since LeBron James has entered the league, he has always been compared to MJ, and he has also always been a threat to Jordan's dominance. So was Pippen just covering his tracks for his mate, or does he really believe what he said? Who knows, but in my opinion, I do believe that Scottie Pippen just said what he truly believed, and that's what he does believe. LeBron could surpass MJ, but as of now, MJ is the greatest. So really, how close are MJ and Scottie? Because if my friend and my teammate was the greatest player of all time, I don't think I could compare another player to him. But here were 6 things that you didn't know about the Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen relationship. I hope you guys enjoyed the video.